ladies. All right, so today I have a video for you that is pretty off topic from any other video I've ever shot.
This video was brought to you by Master Your Mind, Whitney's new mindset course. She knows that the worst part about getting started in real estate is convincing yourself to take action, and that everything you want is on the other side of that conversation with yourself. You'll learn Whitney's personal strategies for digging deep into your story, discovering your biggest motivators, and stopping the negative self-doubt once and for all. It's all about mindset. And if you're ready to transform your limiting mindset into a money-making mindset, head over to whitneynicely.com/mindset.
5 mistakes that I made as a new coach in an online business. These are the mistakes that I made. You may or may not have made or are planning on making these mistakes, but if I can help one woman who wants to become a coach, yes, please do become a coach. But if I can help you avoid the mistakes that I made that cost me money, but also cost me momentum, I will have done my part in this world. The first mistake I made was hiring a publicist too soon, or hiring a PR rep too soon, hiring a company to pitch me on news agencies or radio stations or podcasts, or I felt like I needed somebody to help get my name out there and create a buzz. Turns out, while that was good experience, I guess, and that did make me some money, I guess, nobody gave a flying flip whether I'd been on TV or that I'd been published in a magazine. Nobody cared about any of that crap. All of my clients, all of the ladies that I've helped in First Little and Fast or the Mastermind or whatever, they all wanted to know, could I help them? How quickly could I help them? None of them cared about my resume. None of them cared about the times I'd been published. Nobody cared about a great little one-liner or a joke I made, or how popular I was, or how many subscribers I had, or how many people were following me on Instagram, or none of that. They wanted to know if I could help them and how quickly could I help them. So my number one mistake was thinking that I needed to have these little trophies on my resume or on my website or whatever, when in actuality, in reality, nobody gave a flying flip. The caveat to that is I would say that getting on podcast is worth its weight in gold, but don't worry about getting published in magazines or newspapers or on TV or any of that crap. Find people that host podcasts, send them an email and say, hey, I'd like to be a guest. That will get you out there much faster than hiring a PR agent. My second mistake was because I was new and I wasn't making much money, I felt like I had to hire new virtual assistants to help me do all the things. And what happened was I ended up coaching my assistant on the way I wanted things done, which actually cost me twice as much time as if I just went out and did it. All right. I learned that you get what you pay for, especially when it comes to virtual assistants. Now, today, I hire experts in one thing. I don't need somebody that is brand new and starting their virtual assistant business, or they're brand new and they just barely got a little bit of time that they can help me, and they're cramming me in with all 10, 15 other clients, and I'm having to check up on them, and I'm having to do all these things and double check things and correct things and republish things, and it's not worth it. It doesn't work out for anybody, anywhere. it about drove me crazy until I realized that I didn't have to hire new virtual assistants. That if I ponied up the investment to hire an expert, I would get a better return on my investment than if I was banging my head against a wall training somebody new. When I hire assistants now, whether it's virtual or in real life, I want somebody who can think for herself. I want somebody who can make some decisions for herself. I need somebody that's got some experience working with other coaches in other industries so that they can ping pong ideas with me. Just because I think something's going to be a good idea, if I've got another expert that I'm working with to help push my business along, then she can say, yeah, that is a great idea. Or she can say, no, that's a terrible idea. I tried that with so-and-so. But then we can ping pong it and say, yeah, but if we took it from a different perspective, then it would be good. All right. The second mistake I made as a new coach was hiring new assistants. I hire experts. I am an expert in my field. I want to be with other experts in other fields so that we can both push each other along a lot faster. We can get the wind in our sails a lot faster. If I'm an expert at this and she's an expert at that and we just marry it together, boom, we're rocking and rolling. All right, the third thing that I did that was a huge, terrible mistake and that I have paid dearly for is I tried to adopt the big name coach's strategy instead of just rolling with my own magic. Now, hear me out on this. I paid a lot of coaches, a lot of big names, a lot of multi-million-dollar earners. I paid them big bucks to learn their strategy, and I failed at it miserably. What I learned was their strategy works for them because they've also got other people that they've paid and they've been down this path and they've seen what little thing works for them, works for their personality, works for their timeline, and works for the people that they are helping. I was under the misguidance that was probably made up in my own head that if I took a class from so-and-so, I would be as successful as them by the time the class was over. Guys, that's just crazy. All right. And I probably just made that up out of my head, but other women do that. Oh, well, if I take this course, then I'll automatically make X amount of money because she's teaching it and that's how much she makes. Yeah, maybe eventually, but just because you took Amy Porterfield's webinar class doesn't mean that you're going to make $100,000 on your very first webinar. You could take Amy Porterfield's class and my class on webinars and my friend Molly Kaiser's class on webinars, put it all together, do a webinar, and still not make $100,000. You have to take all these things that you learn from other people, you have to put your spin on it, and then you have to relay that message to your people. I'll tell you, one of the most embarrassing things I ever did was copy a guru's webinar almost word for word. Took me like 2 days. And then I had to go through and change it and put my examples with my people or my examples with my life lessons. Took me another 2 or 3 days. And I thought that the only thing I needed to do was follow the roller coaster that he did in his webinar, and boom, my webinar would be awesome. You know what happened? It tanked. It was awful. It was embarrassing. I spent so much time getting it prepared, and then it brought me no return. And I thought, what did I do wrong? You know what I did wrong? I was trying to follow his footsteps, yeah, but I was doing it in his way, using his examples and trying to contort my examples to fit his mold. You know what I do now? I don't do webinars because I don't like them. I don't like them. My people, I don't think even like them. Or maybe it's because I was trying to force this strategy into my world and I wasn't allowing my magic to come into the world. All right. I do videos now and I follow a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I put a little bit of pitching in and I put a little bit of seasoning in, and I let people know that they can send me messages, and I let people know that you can hop on a call with my team, and I let people know that you can email me, and I'm very open. But one thing that I did not like, that I couldn't get past when I was doing the webinars, is this big pitch. I don't like it. It doesn't sit well with me. I feel like if people are seeing me on videos, or they're seeing me posting on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, or following me on YouTube, or however it is they're following me, people will say, gosh, you know what? She knows something that I need to know, and I'm going to sign up for her course. And people may binge watch me for hours on YouTube and then sign up, or they may binge watch me for days on YouTube and then tell their sister to sign up, or their daughter. You know, I have 2 girls in my mastermind. Their moms found me on YouTube and I think paid for them to sign up for my mastermind. Yay! All right. But I don't need to do these great big pitch-a-thons all the time. I don't need to follow step by step what the gurus are pitching to be successful as a coach. I need to do my own thing, my own way, and take little bits of pieces of what I've learned, but never let go of my magic, my secret sauce, my hands-on experience, my life lessons. Don't forget that. That's the biggest mistake that I made, I think, is trying to force my stuff into their model. All right? Square peg can't go in a round hole. And I am definitely an oddball. The 4th thing that I did was, this is embarrassing also. I completely ignored my budget. In fact, for the past 2 years, I considered a budget to be a bad word. And it got me in quite a bind quite a few times. Sometimes I was ignoring my budget because I was paying these big gurus for their big secret sauce, and it all turned out that they said the same thing in a different way than I'd already heard. And yes, it was nice to have a coach in my pocket. Yes, it was nice to have somebody to ping pong ideas off of, but at the end of the day, it still came down to trial and error and me figuring out how to do things my way. Ladies, don't ignore your budget. Don't get yourself in a bind trying to impress people because you worked with such and such coach. Don't get yourself upside down in your credit cards or your line of credit on your house or your, mom's good graces because you blew the budget on a PR agent and on big gurus and on other things that are out there that you don't actually need. And I know that sounds backwards because I know I'm a coach. Don't invest more than you're comfortable with. If I'm out of your goal right now, if I'm out of your budget right now, fine, save up for it. Stick to your budget, but also don't forget to stretch. All right. If you're trying to go from $5,000 a month to $10,000 a month, a day with me may be what realigns you to be able to think and schedule and act like a $10,000 a month business owner. All right. Finally, 5th mistake that I made in my coaching business was I put myself last on the payroll. I put myself last when it came to my own coaching, and I put myself last on the love column. And that's hard to admit. But it's a mistake that I made that I am working hard to change. It's a mistake that I see other women making, and I want to help you not make the same mistakes that I made. So while I do know how difficult it is to stretch your budget and to hire experienced virtual assistants and to listen to the right gurus and to market yourself and brand yourself and get yourself out there, I also want you to know that you are the trunk on the tree of this business. And those branches will die or they'll disappear if you don't take care of you. You have to love you more than you love the money, more than you love the clients, more than you love the fame and fortune that you will get to one day. You have to love you. And you love you by paying yourself. And I know it's hard because you see the money coming in and you know what needs to go out. And now I'm telling you that you got to pay yourself and you're thinking, oh, it's okay. I don't really need this and that and the other. Ladies, you have to love you before you can love anybody else. You have to pay yourself before you can pay anybody else. You have to get yourself a coach that you love, adore, like paying and want to pay, because when you're coaching other people, you are taking on other people's energy, other people's vibrations, other people's success, but other people's sadness. And you need a safe place where you can get all of that out. And I know for me, that's what I do with my coach. I have to love me more than I love anybody else. I have to pay me before I pay anybody else. And then I have to pay my coach, because I can't do what I do out in the world without having a safe place for me to refuel, refresh, re-energize, and take care of me. I need somebody to focus on me while I'm going to focus on other people. So those are some of the mistakes that I made, and I want you to avoid those mistakes every time possible. If you have any questions about either one of those ways that I can help you, I'll tell you, First Deal Done Fast is my entry-level program for women who want to buy houses without cash or credit or banks or a license. All right, First Deal Done Fast. You can go to firstdealdonefast.com, find out all about that. Or if you are a millionaire and you're looking to figure out how you can make more millions every year, either in your business or in real estate, I have a high-end, high-level mentoring, mentorship, coaching, sisterhood mastermind that we can talk about. Or if you're somewhere in the middle, we could do a VIP day together. I'm happy to help you. And I teach from my experience. So I teach from my mistakes. I also try to pay attention to you and your previous experience versus your future goals. And we'll map out a plan together. Ladies, let me know how I can help you. I'm here to help you accomplish all these goals and so much more.